Like Maharaj has been just dropped off. Now let me start the kirtan again. Sorry.
Okay, oh, you did? Okay, begin.
Sorry, yeah. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada. I hope you all are well. Welcome you all to His Holy Chandramauli Maharaj's daily call. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining, Maharaj. So today's verse is Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, fifth chapter, and verse number 3. The name of the chapter is The Cause of All Causes. If you're ready, should I start sharing the screen, Maharaj?
What verse did you say? 3?
Uh, third, sorry, let me increase my volume. Yes.
You sure it's third or
It was meant to be fourth actually, but I think on Wednesday we covered the Gita Jayanti. It was a special
I,
Gita Jayanti
I
class.
think I did fourth already. I thought it was fifth today.
Oh, okay. Let me just share the screen, Maharaj, and then we can have a look quickly.
Let me see the verses from 3 onward.
Sure, Maharaj. Sure. Um,
Keep going. Let me see the translations. I can't see. No, that one was done. And the
yes,
next
that
one,
is.
number 4, the 4 was done also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one I did the other day. So it's
Okay, Maharaj.
5.
Fine. That's fine, Maharaj. Let me increase the font a bit.
आत्मभवस्य सेठानि न परभवन् स्वयम् आत्मशक्तिमवास्ताभ्यां वर्णनाभिरिवाक् lamaha. So Lord Sri Narada Muni is glorifying his father, Lord Brahma. As a spider very easily creates the network of his cobweb and manifests its power of creation without being defeated by others, so also you yourself, by employment of your self-sufficient energy, create without any other's help. Purport. The best example of self-sufficiency is the sun. The sun does not require to be illuminated by any other body. That is the sun which helps all other illuminating agents. For in the presence of the sun, no other illuminating agent becomes prominent. Narada compared the position of Brahma to the self-sufficiency of the spider, creates his own field of activities without any other's help by employment of its own energetic creation of saliva. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chaksuun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pacharine Nerase Sunyavari Pastyatya De Satarine Vanchikopa Tirubhischa Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srimasari Gaur Bhaktavrindam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Brahma is being seen as the all-powerful creator, but Brahma will later reveal his position as being energized, or what we say, empowered by Krishna to do the work he's doing. The glorification is nice. It's sufficient. The only Narada is playing the role of not knowing that Brahma is not the original creator. So he's glorifying him in that way. Brahma will speak, explaining his position as being empowered by the Lord to do the work. So this example here is also applicable in the most appropriate and complete way for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who doesn't require anyone's help in any situation of life to carry out his own will. He does things by his energy in order to engage the energies in his service, but he is also the source of the energy, and he is also the controllers of the energy, and he can do it without his energies. But he acts in that way. In the same way, the Lord empowers his devotees to carry out the activities of devotional service. So when one does a very wonderful service, it is actually the empowerment of the Lord that actually was the feature to make the service to be seen as wonderful. And of course, anything applies. Krishna is that ingredient in all activities which makes the activity successful or glorifiable. Just like if Krishna wanted, he could spread Krishna consciousness around the world within even a less than a measurement of time. But he doesn't act like that. Why? Because we wouldn't be able to purify ourselves. We wouldn't be able to qualify ourselves to go back home, back to Godhead. So he empowers his devotees to achieve that position, which he can easily give if he wants. And the reason he does that, it's based on the principle of love, because love is something that has to come as an effort from one who is wanting to develop love. Love cannot be handed to you, it has to be offered. So in the same way, Krishna gives us a chance to love him by engaging in devotional service in so many ways and offering the results of those activities to him in devotion. But it is his empowerment, as he says, I am the ability in all living beings. If you want knowledge, I give that. If you want forgetfulness, that also comes from me, and also remembrance. So he is the ingredient that makes everything perfect, and if we simply follow his instructions and engage in this devotional service, we can do wonderful things on his behalf. And such wonderful things are so amazing that the non-devotees will be overwhelmed with surprise at how such things can happen. But for devotee, they know the Lord is all-powerful, and when he wants to empower his devotee, which he does, to whatever degree we can accept that empowerment, as he says, Yeyatam mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajami aham marma vart manu vartante manusaparta sarvasyaha. As you approach me, I will reward you accordingly. If we surrender 50%, then he empowers us in our 50% activities of devotional service. If we do 80%, he complements that. So he's there to make the difference and make the offering that the devotee does successful, because the devotee wants to please Krishna. They want to do something wonderful to spread Krishna consciousness. And if they make an effort in that direction, then Krishna will empower that effort to be something really wonderful. That's Krishna. Yeah, Arjuna could not kill Bhishma Dev. It wasn't possible. Arjuna could not even defeat Karna. That wasn't possible. These two warriors are on the battlefield were invincible, and they were no match. And Arjuna was no match for either one of them, especially Bhishma Dev. But by the arrangement of the Lord, he empowered Arjuna to conquer over these two very powerful personalities. So, and we see later on, as it describes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Krishna left the planet, he withdrew his power from Arjuna. And Arjuna went to see Yudhisthira in a very depressed and despondent way. And he was overwhelmed with emotion. Why? Because Krishna had left the planet. And Yudhisthira is questioning him, why are you feeling like that? But in his questioning, he's making statements, making guesses, you might say guesses or suggestions why Arjuna is feeling like that. But then everything comes to the end by saying that Arjuna said, I still have my Gandiva bow. I still have my, arrows. I have my mighty arms, but I am unable to do anything. And that was shown when some cowherd ladies actually were in trouble when some of the queens, Krishna's queens, were in trouble from some cowherd men. And they tried to capture these queens. Arjuna came to protect them, but he wasn't able to stave off these cowherd men, which would have been normally easy for him to do. So that was an example. So when Krishna pulled back his power from Arjuna, just to teach the world that, it's me behind all of the great achievements that the Pandavas were doing and all of the great achievements that happened. Krishna says, that ability you have, that's me. So when a devotee knows that and acts in that same way to try to do something wonderful to push on Krishna consciousness, it's just like we're in the middle of the book distribution marathon. We think, oh, it's difficult, the weather is not so, it's cold, and people are just as cold as the weather. And so therefore, the devotees get a little bit, reluctant to, take part in the activities, or sometimes they do it half-heartedly. But actually, if we understand whatever situation we're in performing devotional service, if we give ourselves completely, then Krishna will empower that to do wonderful things in devotional service. Just like we heard, to give the example, last year in the UK marathon during the Christmas time, the South London Temple, which is a small temple, came fourth out of all of the temples in the UK, which was amazing, incredible, unbelievable. Even the GBC, not the GBC, the former GBC, was besides himself with amazement how it could have happened. But that is because they had completely dedicated themselves to distributing books in a very, what we say, enthusiastic way. And they showed that even though they're a small temple compared to the rest of you have Bhaktivedanta Manor, you have Soho Street, you have Birmingham, you have, some of the other, you have so many other huge temples there. I don't know all of the names of all of the temples. I can think of them in my mind, but I can't remember all of the names. But there are so many temples throughout the UK, and they were all doing books. But the South London Temple is just a handful of people. And they showed, hey, don't forget us, we can do it. Okay. But that was Krishna. That was Krishna empowering the determination and the desire of the devotees to preach Krishna consciousness through book distribution. So this is Krishna. This is Krishna. If he wants something done, he empowers his devotee to do it, and the devotee gets the credit, but it's actually Krishna. Sometimes he appears in a dream of a devotee and says, my temple is all broken. I can't enjoy it anymore. So please repair my temple. The devotee's thinking, how can I do that? I don't have any money. I don't have any support. But the devotee, because it's the will of the Lord, the devotee does anything to fulfill the Lord's desire, and miracles happen. You may say miracles. Miracles, it's not actually miracles. It's actually Krishna working through his devotee, which looks from the external way as miraculous. But for Krishna, everything is easy. And he wants to glorify his devotee. So the message is we shouldn't be, reluctant to take on services, even that if they're difficult, especially now with the book distribution marathon, or any services that may seem like, you know, um, Srila Prabhupada, he purchased this land in Juhu area of Bombay, which was just a fishing village. Everybody was saying, why are you going to buy that land there? It's useless. How could and the person who owned the land was cheating everybody. He would sell the land to them with a down payment, find ways that they broke the clause. He got his lawyers to find ways to break the clause. And then he would say, you're disqualified, and he would keep their money, and they would lose the opportunity. And they tried that with Srila Prabhupada, but he made a mistake. He didn't know who Srila Prabhupada was. And Prabhupada fought head and tooth and nail to get that property. And ultimately, Prabhupada was victorious, but it was a great fight. I mean, it was a real fight. You can read the whole account in one book by His Holiness Giriraj Swami. It's called "Let Me Build You a Temple." Prabhupada said, I would have pulled back from that whole thing, but I promised Krishna that I'm going to build you a temple there. And so I didn't want to break my promise to Krishna. And Prabhupada had set the deities there even before the temple came, just to show that he was going to build them a temple. It was a great fight. So much so that the owner, whose name was Mr. Nair, he actually died in the fight. And Prabhupada said Lord Nrsingadev killed him. So here's an example. If you look at Srila Prabhupada, how did he spread Krishna consciousness all around the world 14 times in 12 years? It was amazing. But Prabhupada would always say, it's the mercy of my spiritual master, it's the mercy of Krishna. What is my qualification? Of course, Prabhupada's qualification was he had a pure desire to serve the Lord and bring Krishna consciousness to the world. So if we keep our desires strong, that I will become a pure devotee. You should say that I will become a pure devotee in this life. And I will also do whatever services I can to help others become devotees also. And you'll see, if you work in that way, you make your plans and you work in that way, Krishna will empower you to do wonderful things. And Krishna always protects his devotees, even in the most dangerous situation, life-threatening situation. Krishna is there to protect his devotees. That's Krishna. That's Krishna. He's very kind, and at the same time, he says, "Kunti atpadijani me bhakti pranashati." My devotee will never be vanquished. He will never be defeated because he has surrendered everything to me. Now that's Krishna. So when you're aligned with Krishna, you're aligned with the supreme power in all existence. And therefore, if we work in that way, using our abilities, praying for the intelligence and guidance, we can do wonderful things to spread Krishna consciousness. It's simply a matter of desire. Okay, I'm going to stop here. We can open it up for questions.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. So nicely explained that we should believe in empowerment of the Lord, and it's by the mercy of the Lord that we all small jivas like ourselves, we can do anything and everything Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
we have to qualify for that empowerment by having strong desire to serve the Lord. We should not we should not have this material estimation of things. Oh, this is easy, this is hard, this is this. You may have to work according to the situation, but if it's the desire of the Lord, then everything will come out accordingly for the pleasure of the Lord and for the glorification and for the advancement and purification of the devotee.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Devotees, if you have any questions, comments, realizations, please unmute yourself and ask. And you can type in the chat if you can't speak. And please try and keep your cameras on if you can. Thank you. And let's see if someone has any questions. Otherwise, I have a question.
Let's see. Wait a minute and see if there's any questions.
Yes, yeah, we'll wait for devotees.
Okay.
Okay.
Still trying to digest this one, huh? It's a fact. If you read the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 6th canto, the 19th chapter, verse number 5, the same point is being illustrated in detail. Mhm. Okay, yeah. Anyone? Why do we look at devotional service in a material way? If Prabhupada saw it in a material way, there were so many reasons why he shouldn't go. I mean, to America and preach. I mean, Sumati Marariji says, "You're old. What will you eat there? There's no food for you. It's cold." And she said, "You will die." He was giving all the material estimates, but Prabhupada didn't want to hear any of that. He was determined. It was the instructions of a spiritual master. He kept that foremost. He undergo many difficulties, but he kept Krishna in the forefront, and therefore Krishna empowered him and saved him from many life-threatening situations, not just difficulties, but life-threatening situations. And so you might say, well, that's Prabhupada, but every soul has that capacity to do wonderful service for Krishna. It's just a matter of having that faith and working in that way. Just like Shama Sundar. When he came to London, they had no money. Shama Sundar, 3 couples, Shama Sundar and Malati, Guru Das, and Jamuna, Gaurasundar, and Janaki, they had no money. They came to London to open up Krishna consciousness. And Shama Sundar thought, boy, if I can get the Beatles, then that would be good. So he made an attempt. And by his intelligence and his determination, he got to meet George Harrison and John Lennon and all of the Beatles. But it was George Harrison, and then John Lennon that came forward and became interested. And then after a while, it was only George, but it was ultimately Shama Sundar's idea.
And Maharaj,
He
this is,
writes. He
sorry.
writes his book. What is the name of his book? Chasing Rhinos, right? Chasing Rhinos with the Swami. But he changed the title of the statement that Prabhupada said to make it more palatable to the Western mentality. Because Prabhupada used to say, shoot for the rhino. So what does that mean, shoot for the rhino? To kill a rhino is not easy. They have special rifles that work. But even then, anybody who tries to face a rhino, it's like, forget it. that rhino is powerful and fast. And if he comes charging at you, you're finished. But Prabhupada would say, shoot for the rhino. And he would say, what is he meant? Go for something practically impossible. And if you don't do it, people say, well, it's impossible anyway. They won't criticize you for failing because they would say it was impossible. But if you get it, then everyone would say, oh, amazing. So that was Prabhupada. So he wrote books, and he's an epitome of a person who likes to do things that are difficult just to spread Krishna consciousness, just to show the power of Krishna's mercy to the world. And I mean, he's still doing things like that, and he's over 80 years old now. Anyway, that's Krishna consciousness. Okay, any comments from the peanut gallery?
So I have a
From the
question, Maharaj.
from the
Sorry.
cashew gallery, or from the almond gallery, or from the what's that best nut? The best nut. What is that called?
What?
Macadamian gallery. Come
That's
on,
the most
shoot your question.
interesting.
Give me an impossible question.
So, Maharaj, I don't have an impossible question, but my question is, after many years of sadhana and bhakti, why still we don't have that desire to serve and
No
go
faith.
extra mile?
Faith. No faith.
No faith.
Yeah, faith is not there. We haven't developed the faith. We measure everything by material estimations rather than faith in Krishna. We see things through the eyes of Maya rather than through the eyes of devotion. We think do we think devotional service is just an activity, and we measure it that way, or we enter into it with that way. Of course, you have to take in consideration what is needed for the activity, but when you have that strong determination and you work in the proper way, Krishna provides everything, not only the ingredients for carrying out the activities, but the intelligence to do so.
So, Maharaj, many a times it happens that you do have a faith, but even if you have faith, you can't surrender completely. You still try and control. You think that
That
either
means you
you
don't have, that means your faith is weak.
weak. Okay. Yes.
Mhm. We're not trying to prove ourselves to be great. We're trying to serve the Lord. Devotees don't generally do choose impossible things, but if the spiritual master gives you a service or you're in a situation that is, difficult, you have to understand that Krishna's there. He's willing to, you know, either empower you or give you the ability to see how to um, work in that situation in a very effective way. That's Krishna.
Maharaj, is it also a low confidence in our own abilities and in our own bhakti, as in
Yeah,
we think that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because we think we're the doer. Therefore, if you put your limitations on yourself, you'll measure it in that way. But if you say everything's possible with the mercy of Krishna, then you're open to do things beyond your ability. Right, Amrita now? You've been experiencing that in your own service. He's been faced with very difficult services, but she keeps going. Ekta had to work with me during the retreat. That was impossible. She somehow pulled through, and She's still smiling, and the retreat was a success.
Yes, Amritana Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the wonderful Vaishnavas. All glories to you, Guru Maharaj. Your mercy is the only thing they are surviving on. Um, but now what I'm thinking is going next stage. Now, if my meditation is on the next state, then all these things are again coming up. You think about confidence, you think about faith, you think about I somewhere, if I am successful, then that doesn't mean I'm perfectly situated. So if I'm going on next level, somewhere my heart is beating more. How will I do that? So what to do in that situation,
Good.
Guru Maharaj?
That means you're surrendering. You're not giving up, right? You're giving up, then that's another thing. But even though you're nervous, I mean, there was devotees had to give classes in front of Srila Prabhupada. They were new devotees. Imagine trying to speak in front of Prabhupada and give a class. You would shrink underneath the table. At least I would. But yeah. But there's a saying, I think it came up in our discussion during the retreat, that one who has complete faith in both Krishna and the spiritual master, that is tantamount, that was the verse, the word tantamount, to seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. You remember that statement? Maybe Hector can quote it more exactly, but I think that's the essence of the statement. Having complete faith in Guru and Krishna means that you're actually seeing Krishna face to face.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
I mean, we have to work against this material energy, which is very formidable in this age of Kali. But still, the empowerment of Krishna can overshadow and overcome any difficulties. What was somebody was telling me? Yeah, it was Rajni. She was saying she was in a situation where she couldn't come to the retreat because of not having someone to take care of the family when she was gone. So her person who normally would do that just went home for a vacation, and she was looking. And then all of a sudden she prayed, and she called me, and I said I would pray for her, and I did. And she talked about it. She said the next minute I was standing next to a person, and the person said to me, "I'm looking for some work. Do you have something?" And she's thinking, "Wow, where did that come from?" Because she prayed. She sincerely wanted to come. She wasn't thinking, "Well, this is the situation, I can't come." No, she never gave up. She's thinking she was trying, and then through the prayer, all of a sudden things changed. So if it's in line with the desire of the Lord, it'll be successful. I mean, Prabhupada's the perfect example. What he had to face in bringing Krishna consciousness to the world, no one could take on such obstacles. But there was a nice play written by one devotee who exemplified Srila Prabhupada's faith in Krishna in the play. It's really beautiful play. And the person playing Prabhupada, when he was faced with all of these situations, he kept saying, if you want it, my dear Lord, it will happen. But you have to, just like Arjuna was told by Krishna, you got to fight, but you should know your fighting is not the cause of victory. It's me. But you have to show your desire by acting. So you have to make the effort, but Krishna will do the rest. And you should never accept defeat. Accepting defeat is material. In Krishna consciousness, you can't lose. You can only struggle, but you will never lose. Devotees are winners because they're on the side of the winning team. So distribute like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of books this marathon, Satyabhama. I think you can do it.
By mercy, Guru Maharaj, all by mercy. Yesterday, I was calling out like anything. Yesterday evening, I decided to drive to a very distant place, about 2 hours. And the road was really a narrow road with so much fog and cold and dark. And I was just screaming. I was thinking, why did I decided to come here at this place? And it was a long, long and very difficult drive. But I just, by your mercy, we went there and we gave out so many books, Guru Maharaj, for just two of us. And yes, only by your mercy, Guru Maharaj, I'm telling you.
Well, it's Krishna's mercy. It comes through different channels. But it's if Krishna doesn't want to give his mercy, those who are in a position to give mercy can't do anything either.
Well, literally first half an hour, maybe 1 hour, the place was so dark and the people were not opening the doors. And it was like one lady was hiding somewhere and she was smoking. And as soon as I went and she came out and she scared me so much, I screamed like I was alone. And yeah, so many things comes, Guru Maharaj. And at that time, at that very moment, you think that why you're doing it? Why are you doing it? Why you're here? Like, why is this happening? And then at that time you surrender and you just pray to Guru, and that is the time you just. And then after, I don't know, that 1 hour, first 1 hour was very difficult. And then I don't know how people just came, so many different type of different people. It just, people started opening the door, appreciating the books, taking the books, giving nice donations, and everything flew fine. And it just, yeah, I think that first, the time when the problem comes, at that time you have to have a complete surrender and faith. And what you're saying, Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, is like having faith in Guru is very, very important. Otherwise, you just can't do anything.
Yeah, but you're doing the service that Prabhupada wants us to do, is to distribute the mercy of Krishna consciousness through books. Prabhupada has emphasized that because it was his Guru Maharaj's instructions. If you ever get money, print books. Not only print, but distribute books. And Prabhupada's kept that foremost as one of the main pillars of his preaching, spreading Krishna consciousness.
Thank you for passing on the instructions and giving your blessings as well, Guru Maharaj. It's so important. And without coming in your shelter, it just nothing is possible.
So, any other questions?
Any other questions, comments? Sorry. It's very good inform actually topic, and it's really nice to clear your questions. If you have any issues, having faith in Krishna and in your services, in your surrender, then this is the best time.
Yeah. And Krishna said, go to this dark and difficult place. You went.
Go with holding the feet of the Guru. and then you will survive. Otherwise, will not.
Sri Devi, you must have something to say.
I absolutely agree with Shri Satyabhama Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Really and truly speaking, if I think back about how I was when I first began Krishna consciousness, complete mental wreck, total mental wreck, from a mental
Yeah,
wreck to a mental health professional. Only Guru and Krishna's mercy can make that happen. Only Guru
I,
and Krishna. I was
yeah,
so nervous, so frightened, so half mad, half dead personality, And Guru
yeah,
Maharaj's mercy has transformed me, my life.
I remember that. I was thinking, and people were telling me, why don't you just give up on her? She's useless. And I said, well, let's try one more time.
Yeah, really. Mukam kaloti vyachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurun dinatarinam. Nervous jellyfish, shaking, quivering, and then having mood swings, so many problems, so much difficulty controlling my emotions, feeling victimized all the time, very traumatized right from childhood. So many things,
Yeah.
so much trauma, so much
They used to call
unhappiness, so
you,
much mental illness.
somebody wrote to me who knew you. She said, she is a drama queen. I said, well, I know that, but you didn't have to tell me. She belongs on stage. What is she trying to play real life for?
I'm trying to keep everyone awake in the class, Guru Maharaj. They all go to sleep otherwise. What to do?
Not in the beginning. It wasn't like that. I won't tell you who said that, but
It is true. I don't deny it for 1 minute. I'm just trying to keep everybody awake.
yeah, somebody, I was trying to find a husband for you, and I contacted one senior devotee, and he had a boy, and I recommended you to him. He said, no, not that one, no.
You're trying to get me married now?
No, this was way back. This was even before you were even married once. This when
Okay.
you first came to Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
When you were, searching after that person. And I recommended to one person who had a very nice boy that was all ready. He said, forget it, not that one.
I know, Rumpad Maharaj. I remember you said that to me, Rumpad Maharaj. And he had a disciple, and then you
Yeah,
suggested, and said, no way, not that one.
not that one, forget it. Do you believe in magic? So you can learn from Sri Devi that it's possible. Okay.
The
All
impossible
right.
becomes
So
possible only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. There's no other way. No other way, no other way, no other way. Simply following Guru Maharaj's orders, simply sticking tight to his lotus feet, that's the only thing that will save us from drowning in this material world.
yeah, but not everybody's following.
They'll regret it if we do. If we don't, it is for our benefit. It is for our benefit that the spiritual master guides us. He has nothing to do with this material energy, and he has no personal agenda. He's totally selfless, and all he wants is to see the disciples progress nicely. We should be so thankful that such a personality has come into this world to save us.
Questions?
We have a question from Rasivalasi Mataji. In the chat, I'll read it, Maharaj. Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and assembled devotees. What should be the right mode to accept the statement that I will become a pure devotee?
What should be the right mood?
Mood to accept the statement that I will become a pure devotee.
You are a pure devotee. Every soul is pure. But the contamination of material existence is covering that purity. Well, you have to cut through that contamination and reveal your own purity. Purity is there. The soul is by nature part and parcel of Krishna. The soul cannot be contaminated by material energy. Doesn't touch the material energy. But the mind gives us the illusion that we are something else than who we actually are. It's the mind. We have to get through the workings of the restless and fickle mind. Focus your mind on the instructions of the spiritual master and carry out the instructions with determination. And never accept defeat. It's when we adopt our own ideas on how to serve, then we may not be within the circle of Krishna's mercy. And then when we fail, we think, oh, I failed. So the general instructions are there. Everyone should chant 16 good rounds. Everyone every day should read Srila Prabhupada's books. Everyone should take time daily to worship the Lord. Everyone should take only food that is offered to the Lord, Krishna Prasadam. These are general instructions. But then specific instruction is, what service can I do? If you're working under temple authorities, you work under them. And if they give you the services, then you should understand that's coming from your spiritual master, because they're representing your spiritual master by engaging you in practical devotional service. It's that easy. But if you think, well, prasadam distribution is good, so there's many birds in the park, so I'm going to take out some bread, offer it, and then go distribute it to the birds, and I'm doing prasadam distribution. That's nice, but that may not be what your spiritual master wants you to do. So accept service from either Krishna, the spiritual master, or the representatives of the spiritual master. Okay, we're running close to the hour here. Today we have to cut it off at the arrow because it's a little tight. But we still have about 5 minutes.
Thanks, Maharaj. Yes, Sakshi and Manisha Mataji,
Thank
please.
you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Maharaj, sometimes we have a desire to serve Krishna, Guru, and the Vaishnavas, but that desire is not that strong. And due to the anarthas, it's like anarthas are prominent. So how do we in that case solidify our desire and at the same time fight with the anarthas? Because that comes
Well,
with
if you're asked to do something, then you think, well, this is coming from my spiritual master, is coming from Krishna. Just let me do it. The anarthas may make it difficult for you to execute it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. It's the connection is the instructions. The connection is your lifeline. The instructions is your lifeline. Whatever those instructions are, that is what connects you to Krishna in devotion. And all we have to do is ask, what can I do for Krishna? What can I do for spreading Krishna consciousness? What can I do to help to make advancement in spiritual life? We're given the basics. I mentioned those. But on top of that, because this movement is a preaching movement, we're requested by the Lord and by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada to make an effort to engage others in Krishna consciousness. We start with our family members and friends, and then we can go and people in general. So, I mean, you might say many times you were asked to do something. Can we actually say many times you were asked to do something? You didn't want to do it, but you did it anyway because you were told to do it and you're obedient to the instructions. You just have develop the obedience to the instructions, that's all. Whether it's difficult or hard. Vivyasa apnika buddhir ekeha kudanandana bahusakya yanatas chabudeo vavisahinam. Those who are resolute in purpose, their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, those whose intelligence is irresolute, it is many-branched. Keep your focus on the activity of devotional service. There's a nice book. It's written by my godbrother, Vaisheshika. He mentions 4 points in the book, and he discusses each point in the book in detail. And these are 4 points to keep the consciousness connected to Krishna and devotional service. I forgot the name of that book. Anybody remember? By Vaisheshika. You must know Sri Devi, right? What
Is
is
it
it
our
called?
family business?
No, that's about book distribution. This one is his latest book. It's a small book.
Oh, yeah, you did tell us some time
Yeah?
back. I've forgotten.
Hare Krishna
Yeah.
Maharaj. The 4 questions.
Yeah.
4
4
questions.
questions. Yeah. 4 questions. That's the one. It's an easy to read, but it's right to the point. It helps you to focus a lot. It's really good. It's really nicely explained. Everyone can benefit from it, even those who are fixed in devotional service. Okay, so I'm running up to the line here with time, so we'll have to conclude, but we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll continue with our discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. So think about what we discussed today. This point was very essential for our own spiritual progress and to overcome the obstacles that we face in our Krishna consciousness.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for your instructions and so nicely
Yeah,
explained. Thanks for your time and assistance.
okay.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Thank you
jai.
very much. Hare Krishna.
Audible.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Srila
Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari 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 Hari.
Hari
Bol.
Hare Hare Bol.
Jai Prabhupada.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Jai.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.
Dear devotees, thank you so much for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Satyabhama Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Bol, everyone.
Thank you, Satyabhama, for powering through that difficult first hour in order to fulfill
Hare
Srila
Mataji,
Prabhupada
Yami.
Maharaj's desire. I'm so proud of you for hanging in there.
No,
You
you
were
are all
brave.
such an inspiration. This is nothing, Mataji. This is what you all are doing, what Guru Maharaj is doing. This is absolutely nothing in front of. Seriously, yeah, you're my inspiration. Serving Guru Maharaj, I'm learning from you. I'm holding your feet, Mataji. You need to teach and bless us all. How do you so much dedicated and committed to Guru Maharaj? You're amazing and no secrets.
Satyabhama, you don't know me. Okay, that's why you're saying all these things. You come close to
Mataji,
me and then you will discover how many faults I have. Okay.
no, I know you well enough, Mataji, to say
Yeah.
this. Really know you well
So,
enough.
I have plenty of anarthas, much more than all of you put together. It is Guru Maharaj's mercy that all of you are tolerating me.
You're too humble, Mataji. Haribol.
Every one of us has anarthas, but there are
Yes,
a lot of other things to pick up from you. We are trying to pick up that
yes.
the positive things which leads to bhakti, which leads us forward on the path of bhakti.
And
So
especially
you have
Guru Bhakti
developed.
is very important, like learning from Shri Devi Mataji. So true. Guru Bhakti, you
I
can
don't
learn.
know that I'm any kind of example, but all I want to say is please follow Guru Maharaj's instructions. That is our only hope in this material world. There is no other shelter. There is no other hope in this material world. Honestly, nothing else can save us. That's all I want to say. I can't say that I'm a very good example even of what I'm preaching right now, but that is the truth. That this is what we need to do, including myself, actually.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.